As you can imagine, there's lots of different ways of drawing teeth here. This is one of them. I'm going to duplicate the mouth so I can have the lips on one layer and that black mouth on the other. That way my teeth aren't coming on top of the lips, they'll come from underneath. So this one I'm going to rename to lips. And I'm going to turn off the fill. The one underneath is going to be the mouth, and I'm going to select it and turn off the stroke. So now I've got the mouth and I've got the lips. I'm going to turn this off for now so I can see my teeth a little bit better. And I'm going to create that teeth layer right in between. Let me go ahead and lock the rest of this so I don't accidentally mess it up. And I'm going to use the pen tool with a white fill for the teeth. And I'll go ahead and keep a black stroke to help kind of define them. So I'm on this layer teeth. I'm going to select that layer as well and draw a tooth. I'm going to start up under the lips and come down. And I can go ahead and finish that rectangle off. And now I've got a tooth that has been filled. You really want to decide ahead of time whether you want square teeth or fangs, because going back and deleting one anchor point and moving that to be pointy is a lot harder after you've made a whole bunch of them. I'm going to stick with the rectangle version. I'm just going to keep it white. If you had fangs, you could use a gradient on it. And again, good to get it done first, get the perfect fang, and then duplicate them if that's what you want to do. The trick here is very simple. I'm going to alt drag and create more teeth. If they're right lined up, then that can work. I'm doing a little bit of a gap with mine, allowing me to do some turning and angling. And you don't need to have them all be the same size. You can quickly and easily make skinnier ones. You could have them short. You could try and line them up. But with one little tooth started, you can make a whole bunch of them. So of course you could then do the bottom ones as well. You could duplicate and move them around. If you see any that went over, you can always go in and select them individually using that black selection tool, keyboard shortcut V. You could adjust them. Now that we've got a full set of teeth on its own layer, we can select the whole thing. We could turn on that bottom layer so you can see the teeth. They really stand out that way. You can, if you don't like that sharp corner on the teeth, make it a little bit more natural. Again, not that there's anything natural about this guy, but if we have our direct select tool that affects those anchor points directly, you can see these little circles. If you pull on them when all of them are selected, they'll all bevel off the corners. They'll round them out. You can go only so far so you can get the look that you're after for that. So you can see all of those little teeth on there. You could increase the stroke if you want it to stand out more. There's a lot more you can do. If you don't want the black, because you're going to use like a black mouth, and you're like, wow, those gaps are a bit much, think about it. We could just add a white stroke to these and increase the stroke size. So if I then increase stroke weight, now the teeth are kind of filling in there. So you could even have them get all the way and overlap without having to go to each one and change the angles and just make adjustments to all of them. There's one more effect that I like to play with. Well, a couple of them. Let me zoom in a little bit. Under Effect, we have our Distort and Transform. You've seen the Pucker and Bloat. There's also Roughen. So if you don't like them to have perfect teeth, then you can really mess them up here by changing up these angles, the level of detail. It's best not to go overboard unless you just end up with an effect that you really, really like. There's smoother ones, so the little more rounded bumpiness, amount of size. If I take off that stroke, you just take it off so we can see just the teeth a little better. Those gaps become more important if you're doing that kind of roughness. And if we want to see where those effects are, we look at Appearance. With the whole layer selected, all the teeth. I've applied the roughen to all of them. So if you do end up selecting like one tooth and you want to see the effects that are on it, the appearance does not show those because it's not put onto it at the tooth level. If we had done that first and then copied them all, then to change it, we would have to change each tooth. So there's an advantage to applying it to the entire layer if it's something like teeth that you want to do that to. I can go back to the appearance of the whole layer by simply selecting the layer, looking at appearance, and I can go back to the roughen and add a little bit of change to it if you didn't want to keep the one that you had. So that's a little more subtle. You can even turn that one off and apply another one. So this is another one for very dramatic effect, the zigzag. It is set to 10 pixels. That's a lot for the size that we have. So maybe just 1 or 2 would be enough to really give it that grinding look to it. You could even smooth them a little bit. Doesn't make a whole lot of difference. And this is, of course, how many per segment. I can see where that would be helpful for some things, maybe not for teeth, but definitely a lot of things. And both of the effects are there. So I can go back and just set it to the roughen and leave it at that if that's what I want to do.